On today's episode of the Real Recovery Podcast, episode number 99, we continue our conversation with Ebony. In part 2, the story turns toward change. What happened after awareness set in, how recovery began to take shape, and what it looked like to start choosing something different. Ebony shares the challenges of early recovery, the work of rebuilding trust with herself, and the ongoing process of healing rather than a single defining moment. This episode is about growth, accountability, and what becomes possible when support, honesty, and lived experience come together.
Hello, and welcome to the Real Recovery Podcast. I'm Julie, your co-host. On this journey of healing and transformation, together with my co-host Peter, we dive into the heart of recovery, sharing stories that resonate with courage and inspiration.
That's right, Julie. Each episode is a new chapter in this vast narrative of recovery, and we're honored to bring them to you. But keep in mind, the perspectives you'll hear are for informational purposes only and may not reflect the views of the podcast or our partners.
Indeed, while these conversations can be a powerful part of your recovery toolkit, they are not substitute for professional medical advice. We encourage you to seek guidance from your healthcare provider for any treatment-related decisions.
And if you're facing an immediate crisis, or if you just need to talk to someone who understands, don't hesitate to call the Recovery Crisis Line at 503-223-8569. That number is also on our website. Help is available 24/7.
Now let's begin our episode
of recovery, real recovery.
That forced you or sparked you, like, I'm on her back, or how did that work? That they got you motivated to get clean?
So there's a lot that goes into that, because I want to say that her getting taken was my turning point, but it wasn't all the way. So when she got taken, I was already experiencing chronic psychosis, is what I want to call it, was what everybody else calls it. I call it psychosis, but like heightened spiritual awareness, because my psychosis, I feel like, was a little bit different than like the other psychoses that I've heard of before. But there's these voices that used to like straight up cuss me the fuck out. And they used to be like, you're stupid, A, B, like, look what you're doing to your kid. It was almost like a subconscious type of thing, like my brain talking to myself, like all those things that I was terrified of, like repeating the same habits. My kid got taken at the same age that my mom was when I got taken.
Oh.
I started selling my body at the same age. My mom started selling her body. I ran away at the same age. So things were really lining up for me, literally, for that generational curse type of ordeal. But when she got taken, I used to hear her crying and screaming like something was happening to her. And these voices used to be cussing me out, and they'd be like, he's killing her, or she's being touched. And I could hear like the enactments going. I was like suffering hearing my daughter suffer, whether she was like being sexually molested. I could hear it. I could hear her begging for me, saying no, and this perpetrator not stopping, and like her not having any help. And it used to tear me apart. And then in the daytime, I'm like struggling with the voices, the shadows, and like all of these things. But the things that they were saying was just primarily about my daughter getting hurt. And
Did your daughter get hurt?
She did. It came into real life. And I used to call all the time, checking on her. And it would be random ass hours. Because I'm up. I would be calling 2, 3, 1 o'clock in the morning. And at first she went to a family member's house, because I thought that if she was with family, she would be okay. And I'd still have access to her rather than her going through DHS or whatever. So she was with family for 3 months. And I used to call and be like, is Mystery okay? Is Mystery okay? And they're like, yeah, she's fine. What's going on? And all this stuff. And eventually they just brushed me off, because they knew I was like high and experiencing whatever I was experiencing. And it sucks, because even when my daughter was with family, I still couldn't see her. And it was weird, because when I would try to go in, like where she was at, they lived like in a very isolated rural area, like out in Damascus. So that I would have to get like a ride. My grandma used to come. My other grandma, my last grandma. I have many grandmas. This is my last grandma. She used to come and drive all the way out to wherever I was to pick me up, because she wanted so badly for me to get better. And she was like, okay, if I bring her around her daughter, then maybe she might eventually get better.
She'd want to. Yeah.
And every time she would come pick me up, those voices wouldn't just be voices. I would be having physical reactions. Like my heart would get tight, my insides are getting tight. It would literally feel like I was having aneurysms. Like my brain would just do funny stuff. And it sucked because I wanted to go out there so bad, but something wasn't letting me. And it was so hard to explain this to a regular person. And I'm sitting in the passenger seat, like grabbing my head, like freaking out. And I just cried for this lady to come pick me up. And now I'm crying for her to let me out of the car because I physically, every inch I would get closer to where my kid was at would physically hurt me.
Wow.
And it felt like my insides were going to implode.
Think it was the guilt?
I don't know what it was. I have no idea. It just hurt. All I knew was that it hurt, and I would rather listen because I could hear her in my head. I could hear her. So I know she's okay, but she's not okay. So one day I was finally able to muster up the pain and go see my kid. I went over there the day before Mother's Day, and I was going to spend Mother's Day weekend or week or whatever with my kid. And so remind you, for months, I've been hearing all of this crazy ass shit that my daughter is going through, like molestation and like all of these things. And there's clicking sounds, a gun, like when you pull back the trigger piece. I am not a gun person, so I do not know. Like when you pull it back and it makes that like weird click, or like when you pull the trigger, there's like nothing in there and it has a click. I heard that along with my daughter being molested. So it was very scary. And when I got there, all of the noise stopped. All of it. I had no voice. I had no nothing. It was just very empty. So the next I go to bed. No, I get there that night. It's the day before Mother's Day. I'm barely there for 2 hours and I'm withdrawing off of meth. So I'm tired. I'm like a little bit out of it. And my daughter, we're in our room, and my daughter, she says, "Can I tell you a secret?" My fucking body started vibrating because I'm like, a secret. Like, I've never taught my daughter to tell secrets. That's just something I don't teach kids. Like, we don't keep secrets. It's weird. It's weird behavior. So my body is vibrating, like from head to toe. I'm like shaking. And I was like, yeah, go ahead and tell me. And she said that her and one of my family members did stuff with each other.
Oh, boy.
And I'm like, what kind of stuff? And she shows me, like she demonstrates what the stuff is. And literally, like my throat was like in my stomach was in my butt was like in my toes, like my body was like very discombobulated on the inside. And then in my head, I heard a very faint, "I told you," and I just got goosebumps. And I was like, oh my God. So now these voices have been preparing me for this moment here. And I felt horrible because I wasn't here to stop it. So now I'm like, I didn't talk to her after that. I was like, oh, thank you so much for telling me. I really appreciate you. And I promise I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that doesn't happen again. And like, I reassured her that she didn't do anything wrong, but what this person did was very wrong. And I was like, what? I was like, don't tell anybody that you told me. I was like, let mommy figure this out. I'm like, I promise I'm going to get you out of this situation. At that moment, I realized I'm high as fuck. I'm a whole tweaker. DHS ain't fucking with me. I can't take my kid. I have no car. I'm in the middle of nowhere in the woods. There was like all these things going through my head. I'm like, how am I going to get my kid out of this? And then the clicking sound came back of the gun.
Oh my God.
Clicking. It just started happening. And I'm trying to think of different ways to get us out of this. And it was really weird because I'd play out one scenario and the clicking would get like rapid. And then I'd play out like another scenario. And I'm like, okay, if I do this, maybe this will be the outcome. And then the clicking would like slow down. So it was like meters. It was like a meter to me on like the safest possibility, but none of them were safe, to say the least. There was going to be a tragic outcome. So the next day, I end up going to sleep with my kid. Wake up, it's Mother's Day. I have to act like I don't know anything. I have to sit here and smile in this predator's face, in my family member's face, and act like I don't know shit.
I would have lost my mind.
A girl, okay? I had to smile. I had to fake it out. And the voices all of a sudden were helping your girl out. Just all of it. You've been talking shit to me, preparing me for months. And all of a sudden, you're not helping me out. So I'm just left to figure this out by myself. I'm detoxing, I'm going through it, whatever. So we go to this like family event or whatever. And I think for 3 days, I sat in that house knowing what I knew. And it was really hard because
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Is the person in that house?
To this day?
No. So when she tells you it's a family member, is that family member in that house?
Yes. We're all under the same roof, trapped. When I mean trapped, fucking trapped.
No. I can't even imagine.
Nowhere to go. You're not walking to town. There is no town.
No, I just can't even imagine seeing the person with, I don't know, I'm scarred now.
It was so hard. It was the hardest
I can't
thing.
even imagine.
Because in my body, there was no voices talking. It was all clicks. All day I'm hearing
Do you think
click,
the click is a gun?
click.
Or do you think the click, just being random here, any chance the click is a lighter or no, it's a gun for sure?
Mm-hmm. And I'm not really like a person. I'm not around guns. I don't like guns. They're like not my thing. But like in my body, every time it was a click, I could like visually see a gun. Wow. And so I could like associate. And that's why I do the trigger like pullback thing, because in my head, I'm seeing the trigger be pulled back and I'm seeing the thing click, but there's like obviously no bang. So this is like what I'm seeing in my head with the clicks. So
maybe it's killing you.
Maybe.
You know what I'm saying? All the pain. I don't know.
Maybe. But so we're speaking of my grandpa, right? And like my grandpa's like, I already know he's a very unsafe person and like what he is capable of and what he has done in his past. And then so I'm thinking like, okay, what if I do confront him? And I'm like, because this was one of my plans. I'm going to confront him. I'm going to be like, hey, I'm not going to press charges, but give me my kid, drop us off back at the house, and you'll never hear from us again. You can go live your life and I'll go live my life. And that'll be that. Your secret is safe with me. You know what I mean? And just don't ever. That was like in my head. Like, how do I get out of this as safe as possible? And I'm a very visual person to this day. I think with images. So sometimes it's really hard for me to elaborate on what I'm thinking because I have to break down pictures. It's really weird. Anyways, but in my head, I just seen this, not a pretty sight. Like no one was alive at the end of that. And it really scared me. So I was like, I'm not going to say anything. I didn't know what I was going to do. But I kept shutting the door to our bedroom because I couldn't look at him. I couldn't be around him. I just couldn't. It was too much. Like I wanted to murder this man. And he kept coming in there. I could tell that he felt something was wrong, but he couldn't tell if it was because I'm a fucking junkie or if Mystery told the secret. He couldn't tell. Wow. You know what I mean? And I grew up, I've always been a very violent person. So I think that he was expecting me to explode. And that was going to be his indicator that he knew. Because I was a very explosive person, but I didn't do it that time. So I was so afraid of the clicks. So day 3, I wake up my grandma and I'm like, my grandpa's sleeping in the room, but I could like feel his energy. So I'm like, Grandma, we need to go. I need to tell you something, but like me, you and Mystery need to get out of this house before I tell you, because I don't know if it's going to be safe for you either. Remind you, I've been on drugs for a long time. I'm a fucking maniac. Everybody thinks I'm crazy. So she's like trying to depict if I'm being crazy or not right now, but I've detoxed this whole time. Not saying I'm like sane all of a sudden, but
you're not as high as fuck.
Yeah, I'm just not as high as fuck. But I'm like, I'm so serious. And I look at her and I'm like, if I know I'm crazy a lot of the times, but I'm not crazy right now. And I really just need you to trust me. And let's go down to the end of the driveway. I don't care where we go, but we need to be in a car and we need to get out of here for a second. And she's like, tell me what's going on. And we're in the living room and my grandpa's in the room right there and wall's thin as hell. You can hear. And she's like, what's going on? I'm like, I can't tell you right now. Shut the fuck up. Tell her, shut the fuck up. We just need to go. Tell me right now. And I texted her. I was like, Grandma, I was like, if you say something out loud, we're probably all going to die. I was like, I know I sound crazy, but please just trust me and let's go. Thank God she fucking trusted me for a smidget of whatever ounce of faith she had in me.
Or she wanted to shut you up.
Whatever. I was trying to shut her ass up. Like, we're all about to be goners here in a minute. You fucking loud ass bitch. I was so upset. Anyway, sorry. Well, I'm cussing. I apologize.
You can cuss on the podcast.
Okay, perfect.
There's no rules, girl.
Perfect. So anyways, we get out of there, right? We drive to this whatever, little store or whatever. And she's like, so tell me what's going on right now. And I told her, and remind you, I haven't Mystery. She told me the one thing the one time because I knew from if it were to be like DHS involved or police involved, they're going to think that I coerced my daughter to get her back or something. But this wasn't the case at all. So I talked to her about it the one time, and that was it. Left it alone because I didn't want them to be like, oh, did your mom do it? She's little, right? And they know whatever. Anyways. So I tell her what's going on, and she can't believe it. I'm like, listen. And then it clicks in her head, and she was like, she thought that I may have coerced it because I just called her for months asking if Mystery was okay. I kept telling her, I was like, something's happening to Mystery. I know it. She's like, how do you know it? All these things. And I'm like, so it clicks in her head, and she was like, oh shit, is this what you were talking about? And I was like, listen, I can't believe it either. I don't know what's going on, but I'm trying to tell you this is what happened. Yeah. And then so we drive to my house. I live in the same house that I was dirty in, and I miraculously got clean there. Anyways, we drive to my house or whatever. And then so she takes Mystery to a whole different room. She asked her whatever question she asked her. I wasn't there for it. Didn't want to be there for it because I physically couldn't hear it come out again. I couldn't. That. And my grandma comes out bawling her fucking eyes out. Oh and gosh. She demonstrated. And I was like, it got me too. It wasn't the verbiage. It was like the act of. Right. That shit killed me, and it killed her. She's bawling. She's like, what do we do? What do we do? I'm like, bro, I don't know. And I told her, I was like, you could just leave Mystery here. You can go back to with your husband, and you could see Mystery because I know you weren't a part of it because I asked her. You had nothing to do with it. You weren't there when it happened and whatever. I was like, but he can't. We're just going to have to cut ties. I was like, just tell DHS that she's at your house and it's fine, and I'm going to get my shit together or whatever. She's like, no, we can't do that. We can't do that because I signed over my rights to her or whatever. She was afraid of whatever reasons. And at that time, I was such a piece of shit. I was going through so much on the inside. I fucking hit up the boy I was just telling you guys about that broke my heart for ever and ever. And he came and picked me up, and I left my grandma and my baby at my fucking apartment for 3 days. Didn't check on them. Nothing. Just left them there with the information that we knew.
Maybe you didn't know how to handle it, girl.
I didn't. I really didn't. And
it's easier to be high than deal with shit.
Jesus. And it's like, finally my baby comes home, but she's going through this shit, and I just abandoned her. And that shit used to hurt me too. And like the dude that I was with was like, he used to ask me like, do you want me to drop you back off at home? And I'm like, no, I just can't. I can't deal with that. I just don't know what to do. Finally, my grandma calls me. She's like, hey, I have a plan. Like she's like, talk to some of my friends. We need to report this because if we don't report this, knowing that what we know, we're going to be in trouble, pretty much, to say the least. This is a crime. And I'm like, hell no.
The grandpa wasn't trying to find you guys or?
Yeah, he was calling my grandma, and my grandma was blamed. Ebony's going through some shit. We're helping her out. She
doing whatever she could.
Whatever. Okay. We're at her house. So it was cool for a little bit. But like on day 4 and 5, because obviously she left my house because my house had a couch, and she's like an old lady, like not the most comfortable for her or my kid to be sitting in there by herself. And like, she's going through it too, mentally and emotionally, feeling like it's her fault. Like, how come she wasn't there to protect my baby? And like all these things. And I obviously couldn't provide either of them the support that they needed or the comfort that they needed. So she ended up going to her friend's house, telling my grandpa that we were going like on this random ass fucking beach trip. Wow. Random as hell, just on a random day. It didn't go get no clothes or nothing. Like, it was strange. So I'm pretty sure at that time he may have suspected something. But so me and my grandma met up at the Clackamas police station, and we told them like what happened, yada, yada. My daughter got screened by some professional, and they found out that my daughter wasn't lying. And they found out that I didn't coerce her. And I told them that like I was on drugs, obviously, because like I look like it. It was a question that they asked, and
they would have known, girl.
Exactly. I definitely at that time looked like I was on drugs. Yeah, absolutely. And I was like, hell yeah, like fucking smoked before I came in here. Like it's just how I'm dealing with it at this point. And then the clicking sound came back, and it was loud. So I'm sitting in this police station trying to act like I'm not hearing a fucking gun click. And then it reminds you, my grandma knows about all of this because I like finally broke it down to her because she was really intrigued. She was like, how did you know? And I'm like, this is what's been happening to me. And I told her about the clicking, and I was like, this is why I needed to tell you outside of the house because I know something bad was going to happen. And it was going to be like some Mother Day mass murder, suicide type shit. And then so I heard the clicking as soon as the cops were going to go pick up my grandpa. And I looked at my grandma. I was like, the clicking sound came back. I was like, can you tell them to be careful? Like, he might have a gun. And I was like, I know it might be crazy. I was like, but just tell him anyways. Just give him a warning. They went to go pick up my grandpa and the cops were looking at me crazy. This bitch is crazy. The cops looked at me crazy. I was like, whatever, I did my job. That's all I know. So I gave them the warning. I gave them the heads up. That's all I could do to make me feel at peace. They go to pick up my grandpa. He's leaving. He's in his truck. And he has, he knows. He has 2 things on him. He has a belt and a gun. So they asked him, what are you doing? What are you planning on going? You don't have no wallet, no nothing. He just has a belt and a gun. So he was planning on killing himself or something. That kind of looks a little suicidal to me. Like, where's your wallet? Where's your identification? Where are you going with just a belt and a gun? And the belt wasn't on him. Like, it was sitting in the passenger seat. And they called after they arrested him. And after they searched the house, there was 2 guns underneath the bed. There was a gun in the dresser, and there were 2 shotguns like down at the shop because they lived like on a farm area. And there were 2 shotguns in the shop. And they have already heard the story. I just gave them a warning. And the officer calls my grandma and was like, hey, tell your granddaughter we said thank you. He had a bunch of guns and he had one on him and there was a bunch stashed around the house. And I was like,
wow, that's
perfect.
just insane.
Yeah. Yeah. So back to your original question about like getting my daughter taken, like the ultimate turnaround for me. And yes and no. I feel like I feel like the turmoil that I went through hearing what was happening to my daughter, let's say while it was or before it was or whatever the case was, scared me so fucking bad. And it made me realize that I wasn't alone in a weird sense and that I had some type of guidance. And they were telling me other things that were going to happen. But because they already proved 2 out of the millions that they were telling me, I believed them. And the other things were like, I'm going to die. My daughter's going to die. Even after that situation, I just felt like me or her wasn't safe. Yeah. And at that moment, I realized that as much as I hated life or didn't want to be here, I realized that I valued life because I didn't want to die. And I valued my daughter's life because I wanted her to have a mom and like I wanted her to be okay. And that's what helped me get sober.
I understand that more than anything.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted my daughter to have a good mom.
Yeah, that shit hurts.
It does.
It hurts hella bad. And I could only imagine, because I got clean at 25, so like I'm right around the corner of 27. Imagine if I was still out on the streets and the way that my generational fucking chain was working out for me. My time was coming.
Yeah.
If not, probably sooner.
I'm 80. And you say, no. And you say, I've been sober since I was 25. I truly hope that, like, more than anything.
Same.
Yeah, no, for real.
Same. Hey, yo.
Be the 8%, girl.
Girl, there's just no way around it. I feel like I still have a little bit of leftover little something going on up in here.
Oh, I do to this day.
I hate to admit it.
Girl, I went to IOP 25 years sober.
Dang.
I never admitted I was molested until 56 years old.
It helped you heal?
I will tell you, it's been hard. It hasn't been an easy thing. I will tell you, the podcast is a safe place to go through the memories and from your story. And I know there's more, but I'm sitting here thinking, and this is what I'm honestly thinking, is that I had my baby later, okay? Same situation, didn't know whether to keep it or not. Did get drug-free for the baby's sake. But what I'm thinking is how lucky my child is that I got sober when I did, and thank God I wasn't around drugs now, because I don't think I could hang. And how blessed I feel that my child hasn't been in that. My child is older than you. My child is 33, and she's never had to see me high. And thank God I went to prison, because prison gave me the fucking timeout I needed. It wasn't DHS, it was prison. And taking my freedom was probably better. You got to be out in the mix. I didn't. I got time to think about the mix.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had some jail time hanging over my head, but man, God, I have an amazing relationship with who I identified to be as my God today. Like, he knew what the heck he was doing when he was doing it. Like, he did all of the right things to help me get to where I'm at today. And not only like for my sake, but for my daughter's sake. Like that DHS situation, the best thing that could have happened to both of us. Like it allowed me to be like, hey, and like hold me accountable, really. Because
Oh, don't I understand? I peed in a cup for 3 years. I understand.
I'm like, they're just dangling my daughter like she's the carrot, and she was. There's nothing
she's
I
the
wanted more.
prize.
Absolutely. And
Your sobriety too, though.
Yeah, if it wasn't for her, like
I know.
shit.
No.
I'm trying to tell you. Listen, yeah. But like that DHS situation in general, it started amazing. Like my daughter and even me, like my daughter got a godmom out of that situation. Like her godmom today is her old foster mom in that situation. And I'm so grateful. And without her, I wouldn't have been working at 4D. Like she was the one who like sent me the job application. She's like, yo, you would be perfect for this. You need to do this. I think I was like barely getting a year clean. And like I was kind of not doing all of the right things, but I wasn't like fiddling around.
What did you do? Did you go into treatment or?
Yeah, I did. So DHS tried to force me into inpatient. They're like, you need inpatient. And I was like, listen, because I didn't know what inpatient or outpatient was. I didn't know at that time that I was even an addict. And I didn't even know what recovery was. Like that word, none of those things existed to me. Like it was gibberish. So I was doing like a lot of Googling and researching, like trying to figure out what it was. And I was offended when
You're
they're like,
such a millennial. I was Googling.
I was offended. I was like, I'm not, no. Even though like when you're a tweaker, like we can call each other tweakers. Like it's a very normal
I
thing.
hate that motherfucking word.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
can't stand it.
Yeah.
I just never wanted to be a tweaker. You don't grow up and say, hey, I want to be a fucking tweak. Yeah. When I think of tweak and I think of motherfuckers peeking out the curtain and
Yeah, that was me.
yeah,
I was doing all the weird
that.
shit, hiding in bushes and shit, just doing stupid shit.
Yeah.
I was full-blown tweaker. Yeah, I was a tweaker in real life. But so I Googled, I was offended because I'm like, ain't no way these people are calling me a tweaker. You don't have the right to call me a tweaker. Anyways, but I listened to them. I didn't go to inpatient. I told them, I made a deal with them actually because I knew how important this was. And I was very confident that I was going to be successful. I'm one of those people, you can't tell me shit. If I want to do something, I'm going to do it type of ordeal. And even though they're telling me what to do, but I'm going to do it the way that I want to do it. I don't give a fuck what you have to say. I told them I made a deal. I even had to sign for this. I was like, so I'm not going to do inpatient. If I can't complete outpatient and stay clean for at least 6 months, you can have her.
Girl.
You can have her. Because I know for a fact, because I was like studying and watching videos and did all this research, like in the beginning phases, people who go into inpatient have a really high chance at relapsing and going back out. And I'm like, why? What?
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Why? Because you're in a facility. You're locked down from the real world and all of the triggers and all of these things that are surrounding you.
Removed from you. I do agree with you. And then I think it's the same thing going to jail, right? But when you get out, right, do you go around what you used to know? Right? Is that barrier
And
taken from
statistics
you?
show that
most people do.
Most people do, and they end up right back.
I never went around one person.
And that's why
I was scared.
That's why we're the 8%.
Yeah. I had to give a polygraph test too. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, listen, if I can't control my fucking self and deal with life on life's terms out here, I know damn, I'm not going to be able to I'm going to stay clean and inpatient probably if I don't get kicked out for kicking a bitch
It's easy to say. Treatment gets you clean. It doesn't keep you clean.
Exactly.
It doesn't. You have to build a foundation to stay clean. I say this all the time, and kudos to treatment because it'll get you out of psychosis, right? But treatment won't keep you clean. It'll just get you clean, period.
No, for real. In real life.
You have to change everything in your life and you have to get a foundation. And my foundation, I heard Adrian, I went to CRM training just because I wanted it for the podcast, right? I heard Adrian talk about recovery capital. I am a fucking billionaire.
Hello.
Okay. I might drive a 2010 Toyota that's paid for.
Hello. That's how you can afford all them shoes.
I had a big job. But when it comes to recovery capital, I don't have anybody in my life that uses. I have a clean and safe place. I have a job. I have a sponsor that I talk to every motherfucking day. If I don't wear this man out, I'm just saying. But my recovery capital and my chosen family, and it's taken a long time to build. It wasn't like that at first. I didn't trust anyone when I came into the program. No one. Zero. Not a person in this whole entire world. But my recovery capital now, the lottery can't pay me for it.
Hello.
Yeah, and you have to build that foundation. You're just getting started. But that foundation, I feel like Tony, his team around him, yeah, it's a strong
Solid.
foundation. It
Yeah.
is. I respect the team so much. Like Elton, everything in this world. Elton.
Yeah, we got some pretty strong individuals. And luckily, when we talk about recovery capital, like I'm a little bit different. Yeah, I'm like a people person, but I'm also not because of that trauma of like people leaving me or just like weird stuff happening
Same.
with relationships and stuff. But my chosen family, like I have a very supportive chosen family. They aren't in recovery, but they're very responsible. They don't drink every day. Like they might sometimes. And I'm cool like with all of that. Do what you do. They're not going to put me in any situations, and they check in with me because I'm a regular person. I like to go out. I like to go play bingo. And in the real world, people drink and smoke and do all the things. But I've just learned I don't have the desire anymore. And I know what that comes with. And I know that where I'm at in my life, that shit's too expensive. And I can't afford that. I can't afford to lose everything I just worked so fucking hard for.
Oh, yeah. I
And
understand
that literally wipes out and I get disgusted. The shit stank. You're acting crazy. Like I get so turned off by like people's personality switches when they do happen to use substances. But I also don't let that, for me personally, like limit my life. Like you have a shoe addiction. I have a thrill addiction.
I don't anymore, girl. I don't have a 3-figure job now. I changed careers, but I ask myself now, do I want it or do I need it? And I ask myself that about everything. And it's been great. Like success was really important to me in my recovery. Now my mental health is really important to me. I've kind of traded one for the other. I think running 2 different companies was a lot, but I wanted to prove to my daughter that her mom that had fucked up was everything. And I'm already everything because I didn't repeat the cycles. I didn't put my hands on her. And so I think, yeah, you're just getting started.
How did you progress so you went to outpatient?
Oh, yeah. So I did outpatient. Outpatient was everything. So I ended up getting my daughter. I had a couple of slip ups.
Where'd you go to outpatient?
I went to Cascadia Health over it was like the Maywood.
I know
Maywood one.
About.
Love Greg Radspinner. That was my counselor. Now he's like some big boss over there and shit. Love him to death. And the one thing that he did every single day, because I was like an intensive outpatient at first. I wasn't. And then they're like, listen, I had a couple slip ups and then I was like, I'll do whatever. Cause I did sign a paper. So I was like, this is serious. But he used to ask us every day. So it was like group counseling. He used to ask us, and this was all virtual. I barely met the dude in person. Cause it was like,
Wow.
COVID was like dwindling down.
When I went to IOP, same thing.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
I go to school virtually too. I don't want to be, I'm not that type of person. Hey, listen.
I liked it better because no germs.
Yeah, all the things. Yeah, if I could just, anyways, he used to ask, and I grew up like people not recognizing me or noticing me or asking me anything. But what really touched me every day, whether it was his job or not, it affected me on the inside. It's like, how are you today? And you could say anything except for good, fine, or okay. So it left me to be real. Yeah. And I had to be real. And I was like, oh shit, like, how am I feeling today? And then it got me thinking, and then I could like openly discuss how Ebony was feeling with somebody else. And that was life-changing for me, whether he got paid to do that or not. And
to be heard,
to be seen, and to have somebody help me, like just give me some type of guidance that wasn't going to destroy my life was fucking awesome. And his positivity is so radiant. He would be having the worst day and you would just never know it. And I was like, wow, I want to be like that. And he doesn't even know it to this day, but like I really idolize like who he is. And
you can give him our podcast card and he can hear. No, seriously, there is usually one person that is that. When I was in treatment, and I never went inpatient either, but the last lady, she said, I really think you want to be sober, Julie. I think out of anybody in class, you stand a chance. And I had 18 months sober. I slipped up one time too. And I went and told on myself. I was so upset about it. And she said, you need to find a meeting you like, and you need to stay there for the rest of your life. And I have.
Yeah. He never pushed meetings on us. But I love the fact that he would have us looking inward, because what even is that? I was just numb for like my whole life and shit. I have a very strong detachment personality. Sometimes it can be a little hard and I'm having to tune in. But so yeah, I did that. I graduated, I think 9 months into the program, and then I stayed an additional 90 days because I started to learn in meetings like what reservations were and all of these things. I'm learning about recovery the real way from real people with experience. And I had a 4D mentor like in the very beginning of my DHS stuff. So that was very helpful. Shout out to Sarah Martin, or Sarah Ann. I don't know what she goes by today.
I know who you're talking about.
Yes, love her to death. She was my angel, like my in-person angel. Love her so much. But so people in the rooms were talking about reservations, and I asked her, I was like, what's a reservation? And she told me, and I got to thinking, I was like, damn, I think I have one. Because in my head, I was like, I'm barely I'm not at that point. I think when I got my kid back, I was only 90 days clean, and DHS gave me my daughter back.
Wow.
And then I graduated the program at 9 months. So in my head, I'm like, ooh, this DHS shit, I only have 90 more days before my case will get closed, because you have to have a year of not getting in trouble, not relapsing, all of these things. It's coming up. It's approaching really fast. I'm doing great now. But like in the back of my head, I had this little tiny voice, not like the regular voices I was telling you guys about, but like a thought.
Conscience.
It was there. It was like a little pin and needle one. And it was like, as soon as you get DHS off of your back, pew, you're back outside. And it was just gnawing at me.
We're so much alike. I went to AA to get off parole, right? I'm going to go 6 months and get off parole. And right when the 6 months ended and I'm off parole, I'm like, do I stay?
Yeah.
Or do I go? And no, so I picked up the secretary position on Fridays. There wasn't mentors then. There wasn't CRMs or peer support specialists. But yeah, I was scared. I was scared I was going to fuck up like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
I went to meetings I say this all the time. Sorry to the listeners, but for 4 years, 3 months, and 28 days.
Every day?
Yeah, girl, I was scared.
Sheesh.
It took a while for the urge to be removed from me. And it took a while. Like the foundation I have now, I didn't have then. I went to meetings. I went to work. My daughter went to school. I picked her up, took her to babysitter, went to a meeting, and then I worked 2 to 10 so that I could go to the meeting 12 to 1. But the structure was good, and it was really good. And that schedule, luckily, really worked for me so I could go to the meeting.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish I was a meeting person. I'm really not. I have the worst social
Can
anxiety.
I tell you? Everybody has recovery different. That's what we celebrate on this show. We've had Jared on from Sobriety, Melissa, I love Melissa. No, Circle Recovery. There's so many different forms. And that's what we want our people to know. I think peer mentors are like sponsors. Luckily, my sponsor gets to stick around a little longer. Yeah. But I think there's just so many more options now.
Really
I didn't drink. So to be in an AA meeting.
Was it the 4D mentor that triggered you into
going to meetings and stuff
and becoming part of 4D?
Yeah, actually, when my time came, because, okay, listen, my daughter's godmom, which was her, what do they call it? Resource parent at the time. She knew Ami. Okay. She used to work at 4D as well. And they had an open position. I just hit my year, and then she sent me the application, and I didn't even think, I don't know why I thought this way, but I didn't even think it was possible that like I would ever be able to work at 4D.
Really?
Never. I never even thought it, I never considered it to be real for me. I don't know why that was a thought, but like I just thought that was out of the question. So I was very hesitant on applying, but I realized how much of a savior my mentor was for me. And I was like, ooh, I really want to be that for somebody. That's crazy. And I was riding the pink cloud for like the first year of my recovery. Like I didn't come down at all. Like I was up here. Like life is going great.
Wow.
I'm in school. I have my kid. Like life just took off for me. I still ride that pink cloud. Like every now and again, it goes down just a little tiny bit. But like I stay up here.
That's good though.
All of the time.
That's
And
great.
I'm just grateful. I just feel like I'm so grateful. There's nothing that can happen. Like, I'm grateful for the bad too, because that bad is nothing compared to the bad that I've already.
Amen.
I always learn something, and I always realize what I've learned and how I'm going to apply that in the future. And I'm like, wow, this is great. I know that was a fucked up situation, but that was awesome. It was an awesome experience.
You can learn from it, stay sober through it.
Yeah. That's the most important part.
So we haven't done a story on 4D in a little while because Corday, man, I've been trying to get him, and you can tell him. But we did a lot of stories. We've done more stories on 4D than any other place, actually, believe it or not, because I went through every CRM person because each one impressed me so much. And Tony hooked us up with Skylar. Tony was the first one. And then Tony hooked us up with Skylar, who I love just his attitude. Yeah. And we got high in the same park, which is crazy. But do you think that we're talking about recovery capital, that being in this environment, right? Do you think it adds to your recovery? Because in AA, we say you don't keep it unless you give it away. Do you think this is your way of giving it away and keeping it?
I'm going to say yes and no. I feel like I've been around for a while. 3 years is a long time, but not really. But I've been around, I've been around long enough to see people make this a part of their recovery, and it turned out to be really bad. Like, people relapse a lot of the times that I've seen or experienced, like making their job their recovery. So what I took from that, because I'm a social person, but I'm like a loner by nature. I'm like one of those popular loners. And I'm a people like observer. I like to people watch, and I like to see how things can apply to my life or not, and like what I can do differently. The world has always been my teacher. So I love having outside perspectives. But what I've learned from that situation is like, yeah, it's awesome to be here today, giving back what we've learned and giving people things that we didn't have that we wish that we had. But for me, I give back outside of recovery. That's my recovery. I don't go to meetings. I don't do any of that stuff, but I give back to my community outside of 4D because what happens when 4D is gone?
No, I understand about community. It's my most important thing.
And as you've seen, I don't know if you've seen or not, but like for Thanksgiving, like
I saw you were collecting food and giving it out.
And that's what I do.
Actually pay attention.
On a day-to-day basis. And some of it's not publicized or whatever. But that specific situation was only publicized because I was asking for donations. But a lot of the things that I do for my community is behind closed doors because that's a part of my recovery.
And I think, I was baking cookies. I don't have tons of money right now for the first time in like forever. And every year I bake cookies and I raise money that way. And my company now matches it. And so Elton, you don't even know, like she's up here to me. So I'm baking cookies and I'm giving money to 4D so my company will match just because her story to me gave me a lot. And it's not because I want credit. It's because I want to give back for everything I've gotten.
Exactly.
And I think it's those things that people don't know about that build you up because you do it for the right reason, not the publicity.
Exactly.
What do you, besides Thanksgiving, what kind of things do you do?
So
how is that?
I do like pretty much anything. I'm like the person that's like very reliable and dependable in my family and my quote unquote friends. And I use that word in a very weird way because I feel weird about the word friends because I feel anyways, but I like babysit people's kids. I lend people money. I don't really do lends, but I let people have money. I give people clothes, like whatever anybody needs, like anybody in my community that I grew up with. Knowing where I'm at now, like I have people that I haven't talked to since I was like 9 or 10 years old or that hasn't seen me in my worst days will hit me up asking me for like advice or things. And I'm there. And in the drop of a dime, I'm there. I don't care. I haven't really talked to you in 20 years. If you need me and you reach out to me, I'm showing up. And I don't care what it takes. Like I'm showing up and everything. I'm dropping everything. Because for me, I wish somebody would have been there for me. And it's so hard for people to reach out and to ask for help. And if you get the courage,
100-pound phone,
especially if you're independent.
Yeah.
I take care of me. Yeah.
And speaking of, so that's just like how, and like I show up and I support people like for things that matter. I'm really not a hang out with you everyday type of person. I can barely text back and I feel horrible for that. I will watch my phone ring because it's so hard for me to just talk. I hate having small talk. I love having deep conversations.
Girl, I hate talking on the phone too. That's Peter.
Yeah.
You can't, like,
I'll find
my
an
phone
excuse
stays
to
on
hang up.
silent,
Same.
like all day long. I can leave it. How many times do I leave my phone?
Yeah. And I'm never without mine. So
Look,
I don't know how you do
I'm
it.
not addicted to the phone. I'm not addicted to social media. Like, I am not addicted. Amen. But I'm not. And honestly, if I have a sincere conversation, I want to have it like this.
Face to face.
Yeah.
All day.
Some of the most serious conversations, like one time I run to Peter's house, it wasn't on the fucking phone. The only person I talk to on the phone really a lot is my sponsor. And it's only because he's talking to me while I'm driving to work. But yeah, I'm not a phone person either. It's crazy.
I stay on my phone, but I don't want to talk on that motherfucker.
Oh, I
Like,
don't-
get up with me, okay?
Yeah, I don't stay on my phone.
But yeah, I love supporting people, their events. Like I will random people like on social media, like they have some like event going on. I'll
Be careful. We have 10,000 listeners, girl. You better be careful.
That's okay.
Just
Listen, I
saying,
love
you
to
better
show
be
up.
careful. You can only show up
it.
so much.
Hey, listen, yeah, my people will tell you, if you look at my calendar, oh my gosh, I got work and kids, school, and other people's stuff all over the place. But by the grace of God, somehow I still find time for myself, for self-care. I'm pretty sure you see it. Like I do a lot of self-care in between all of the other things that I'm doing for everybody else. But I'm grateful that God has put me in a position to be who I am today and to be able to give to my people and to show up for strangers and to be able to give back to my community in the little ways that I can. And it's quite frequently. And I'm appreciative.
How is life now with your daughter and how's the home life?
Oh, home life is okay. Listen, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's chaotic. No, I was kidding. It's great. And my daughter is about to be 9. So she's like in her preteen era.
Girl, preteen. 11, 12, 13.
Oh my God. She hit it early. I think it has something to do with the social media and whatever she sees. And then most of my people's kids are a little bit older than her, about a year or 2 or 3 sometimes. She just thinks she thinks she's my mom and she thinks she knows everything. And so now we're in this like I'm trying to figure out how to be a mom to a sassy little girl who mirrors probably me and has my whole personality.
You think?
Yeah. So I feel bad for my caretakers a little bit. So I have to cut them a little bit of slack because I know I was worse. I was way worse. And then I'm like, if this is just a 10% of what I used to be, like, sheesh.
Girl, you better be careful because exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Sheesh. So yeah, I'm trying to navigate that. But luckily I have such a strong support system. My kid right now is like with her godparents and she's also a social worker. And it's really crazy how God played everybody in my life today. I don't hang out with a lot of people in recovery. Sometimes I get a little like recovery burnt out because my whole life is recovery. But
I can imagine as a job.
yeah,
Yes.
Sometimes I just need a break. And
girl, I thought I wanted to go into recovery for real. I thought that. And after the CRM thing, I was thinking,
too many rules.
No, actually, I'm thinking I can't go in for the pay as a CRM, right?
Yeah.
But with all my experience, I was going to be like, I wanted to be the HR manager at 4D. And after, I don't know, 5 interviews, it came down to me and some other person, and they chose another person. But God was looking out for me because what I really wanted was a company that was diversified and gave back to the community. And I feel like my company is number 1 at that. But I agree with you. I would get burned out working in recovery, being in recovery. And I do feel like my recovery is my most important job. But I don't know if that I could work in it, do it, be it, hang out. Yeah, I don't think so.
It's not it. And I learned that a little bit early on. And I'm terrified to hang out with other people in recovery because if they slip, I feel like I'm going to slip. And I don't want nobody to drag me down. Yeah. I'm not doing it. I'm so sorry. Those are just my boundaries. I don't date nobody in recovery. I can hang out with people in recovery, but I'm probably not hanging out with you often because then I feel entitled.
My crew is 70
to whatever.
Plus, girl.
Yeah, my crew
for real.
My crew, like I'm about to be 30, but like my friends, literally, they're all 35 plus, they're married, they have houses, they have businesses. And coincidentally enough, they're all social workers. So talk about accountability. Let me slip up one time. Like they're obviously going to have my back, but like in a way that's going to be most beneficial to my daughter. That's what's important to me is I have people who love my daughter more than they love me in our friendship because I feel like that's what's needed. And that really
is what's needed.
Yeah, that keeps me on the straight and narrow path. They support me. My life is amazing. It's been amazing.
So you're going to school?
I am full time
for social work.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, social science is what I'm majoring in, and I'm minoring in children and family.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. I plan
I hope you
to
are the
open
person
up
that steps in.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. I feel I have this. It's like a calling that like burns inside me every single day, and I've had it almost my whole life. I just never knew how or where or when or what that would look like considering my circumstances. But now that I'm like clear, level-headed, I know what I'm good at and I could see it. I could taste it. I could feel it.
I love that.
And that's the reason why I'm in school.
And you were starting to say, I plan to.
Oh yeah. I'm like, should I? But eventually I'm ultimately super grateful for 4D and for
it's your stepping stone to a better place.
And for Tony. And I think almost everybody who works there and who has been working there and who has been successful at 4D, like I feel like I could speak for all of them is that 4D molds amazing fucking human beings. 4D molds leaders. 4D molds
that go on to bigger and greater things, girl.
Oh man. And if you just do the things and pay attention, the game is there. He gives you free game. It's so crazy. And so I'm using my degree to take the tools that I've learned and I'm eventually going to venture off and do my own thing.
Of course.
Yeah, I want to be my own boss and stuff. I'm obviously going to serve the community still. And I'm just doing it my own way.
So do I.
Eventually.
That is my favorite thing.
I love it.
Thank you.
I love it too. Get your kid involved in sports or something good, girl.
Yeah, she's in sports. She loves football. That's her thing right now. But she's like refusing to do any other thing. She wants to build robots. So I'm looking for some type of techie stuff for her. Don't know where that comes from.
Brilliant.
But
I love her.
Yeah, I'm for it.
Her smile is your smile.
Oh.
It's amazing. We always ask this at the end. Is there any words you want to give to anybody out there listening?
Oh, man. Sheesh. My brain.
Your whole story is so inspirational. It's just incredible. So I think listeners will definitely resonate with our listeners.
Yeah, to some degree, I'm like, I hope they don't.
We're going to have to start a t-shirt gang, 8%.
Hey, listen, I'm here for it.
I used to want to do shmoney. No, I heard Cardi B say it on like Love and Hip Hop. And then I went and Googled it and somebody already started t-shirts that said shmoney and I was so disappointed. Yeah.
That's funny. I wanted to start a Recover Out Loud t-shirt, but then I realized that's already a thing too. So, dreams crushed.
Really?
Yeah. It's not patent though, but hey, listen.
There you go.
But I think one thing I would tell the listeners is to not give up. And if you need somebody to do it for me until you can do it for you.
Very good. Very good.
I love that.
Yeah. That's awesome. Thank you so much for
absolutely
being here and being so open and vulnerable and
thanks for wearing
such a heartfelt story. Yeah.
Thanks.
These podcasts are emotional. Like, I don't know, but I'm so grateful for you. It's crazy. One last thing. It's crazy how like I can ask someone to be on the show or whatnot, right? And then there's like someone you really want to talk to. And you were that person when I heard you and nobody was fucking listening on that stage because I actually was listening. Just so you know.
I appreciate you.
Yeah. I was listening to Bo too, and that was bullshit. But anyway, it's okay. Look at that night.
We live and learn.
That night was a learning experience for us in more ways than you know. But I'm really grateful for you giving freely of your time.
I appreciate you guys too. This is awesome. I've always wanted to do something like this. So this was great.
You did it.
And I encourage everybody to reach out to me if you have any questions or going through something.
I encourage everybody not to overwhelm this girl, but
listen, I have so much love and so much to give.
Same. If you ever need to reach out, you're one person I'll pick up the phone for.
I appreciate you. I'm going to right now openly invite you both to my graduation that's coming up.
Oh, fantastic.
It's just for my associates for now, and then I'll invite you guys to my master's, and you guys can. I don't ever invite or have people be a part of the things that I'm a part of. So this is like one of my stepping stones of trying to relieve myself and ask people to show up for me. So I would really appreciate it if you guys would show
Love
up
to
and
come. Yes.
support me for this.
I'm at a new job, and as long as it doesn't conflict,
I got you.
because I'm on probation for a year at this job.
Oh no.
A whole entire year.
Jesus.
It's okay. Can I tell you it's worth it?
Yeah,
So it's all good.
absolutely. Anyways, I appreciate you guys.
Well, thanks
Thank
again.
you.
This is Peter.
This is Julie.
And this is Ebony.
Thanks for listening.
That's a wrap on today's episode. Thanks to each and every one of you for lending us your ears and hearts. Your engagement is what fuels our passion and keeps this podcast thriving.
We cherish the moments we share here and hope they resonate with you, whether you're on a daily commute, at the gym, or just taking a moment for yourself.
Make sure to head over to our website at realrecoverypodcast.com. While you're there, subscribe to our newsletter for the latest insights and uplifting stories from our community delivered straight to your inbox.
Click that subscribe button on your favorite podcast player too, so you can keep up with every new episode. It's your support that keeps our conversation alive and meaningful.
And if our stories have touched you, consider using the donate button on our site. Your contributions, no matter the size, are deeply appreciated. They help us continue our mission of sharing hope and healing.
Join us beyond the podcast and follow our journey on social media. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, and on X, formerly known as Twitter. All the links are on our site, so you can stay connected and be a part of the Real Recovery community every day.
Your likes, shares, and comments not only spread the message of recovery, but also remind us that we're all in this together.
So, until we meet again, remember that recovery is a journey, not a destination, and we'll be here to accompany you every step of the way to recovery, real recovery.
Thanks for listening.